Well, good morning, guys. Welcome back. We're back at the cabin. We left off last week. We were building our bathroom, and well, we're doing that again today because, well, it's not done yet, and we still have this gaping hole in the wall that we need to fill in because winter's coming. Oh, I've even got like a red nose, and I've only been outside for like 5 minutes. It's crazy. It's crazy cold. Anyways, we gotta patch this thing up. One thing I like to start, especially start the day, I like to start off with more material than I could possibly use that day because it's better to have looking at it than looking for it. I've got myself some actual 2x4s. I got enough to do that one wall, which is some old skid wood that I took apart a while ago. It's extra wide stuff, but I have enough to do the whole wall. So if you've got any dissimilar materials than your existing framing, as long as you can get the entire wall done, it doesn't matter. Nobody can tell once it's done. And I've got my headers and my lintels and my door window jams and all sorts of stuff, and I still got some roofing material. And there was lots of stuff going on today. So let's get started before the snow flies and before I run out of energy. Because you know what? Winter's coming. Winter is that mean old lady that yells at you. That's another story. Anyways, let's get started. Took the opportunity to get the wood stove in because, well, getting that thing through the door is not the easiest. So anytime you don't have a wall in the way, you can get your stove in. So this thing's going to be hooked up sooner than later because I want some heat, especially some construction heat. I think in the East Coasters, if they're ever building a cabin or a house, usually the first thing they had, even before the insulation, they'd have a wood stove in there. Then any scrap piece of wood went right in that stove. Kept them warm during construction. Okay, so the plan is to take these garage door panels and shrink them slightly because they're a little too long. If I went with a 3 window, which is the window behind this one, I'd have 9 feet. My opening is slightly over 8 feet. So I'm going to take them apart and actually shrink them. The 2-panel one. I kind of wanted the 3-panel one, but it's just not going to fit. I've got new toys, new tools. Is that going to focus? Focus! A Diablo! Nut driver set. It's always a good day when you get new tools, right? And the idea behind these is I'm not going to lose this one, right? Because they're nice, shiny, and new. They got the magnet on them. 7/16. I got to figure out which one to take them apart. That's too big. So every one of these things comes apart a little differently. I'm going to see if I can get it apart without breaking it. What I want to do is move that mullion, which is a little wider, to the middle. So I'm going to have to cut a little bit of the stile off in order to get it to fit. And anytime I'm dealing with glass, I like to use gloves. So I want this guy to go back here because it evenly spaces. Hopefully I can just kind of cut that and it just poof, it'll work. Come on. Okay, so this guy, we want to go back here. Okay, Thomas Brown will be proud, or not. He's probably rolling somewhere. That's who says the architect here. The hole's a little offset. I've got to drill another hole in order to get the mounting screw back in there, but it's pretty much that's as easy as it is. You just got to cut the one mullion off and cut equal amount off the other side, and then you can kind of stitch most aluminum frame windows back together to determine what size you want. Easy as that. In order to make my window frame, I ended up taking the measurements from the door that I had cut into a window and made it slightly larger, probably 1/8 on every side. What I did was I started with the end pieces. I cut them on a slope because I want the water to drain off the sill in the event that there's a driving rain and hits the window. And then once I had those all cut up, I put them together with a bunch of nails, and then I proceeded to put a couple of angle brackets on the side, and then I ended up putting the window in, tacking it in to keep my frame square, and that is how you make a window. I don't think you can ask for anything better than that. You can kind of see what I'm going for. This thing is angled in. It's just kind of temporarily tacked in there so she holds it in place. But as you can see, once this thing's shimmed in and then screwed up, I'll get a little bit of a gap. And if you look at the way the garage door panel is, you can see there's about a finger width. It's because there's actually like almost like a drip edge on the bottom side, which is going to stop that. So the idea is this thing pivots out like an awning window. So if you forget it open, rain doesn't get in the building. I've got to put some hinges on this bad boy, but that'll be future Kevin's problem. Maybe when it's a little warmer outside and start doing a little bit fiddlier stuff. But I'm pretty happy with that window as it sits. It's going to be a nice big window for nice lots and lots of light in the bathroom and throughout the cabin, because there is quite a bit of light that actually shines through, so you can see just how large the window frame is. And in the event the winter comes and I need to maintain warmth, I can actually add another like a window plug essentially, which would close the window up completely either at night or you know, for an extended away time. You can close it up and you don't have to add very much heat to the bathroom in order to make it warm, because the only good window is no window at all, because there's really not that great of way of making them have a high R value. All right, working on some garage door insulation panels. This is I found the easiest way to cut the garage door panels is to use these guys. This is the Diablo Steel Demon blade, and they're crazy good for metal, stainless steel, ceramic. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Ceramic 2. I don't know. This is an old blade. It's cut really long time. I was surprised actually how long it lasted for cutting steel. And the good thing about it is the material doesn't actually get hot when it's being cut. And especially when you're cutting like something like a garage door panel, it's just fine metal, so you don't need an aggressive tooth. This guy, it's got all the carbide teeth on it, and it cuts through like a butter, like a hot knife through butter. I'm just changing it out, so I don't. Backwards, lefty tighty, righty loosey, especially on the saw. So there we go. We got our new blade chalked up. This is the old blade. Looking at it, it's got lots and lots of use. I was cutting like angle iron and crazy. So what's happened is the teeth are now consumed. It still works. It just doesn't cut as quickly. You can see where the teeth are and where they aren't. But that's pretty much the end of the line for that guy. Like I said, I was really impressed on how much that cut and kind of the abuse I put on. I was cutting like 1/2-inch plate steel with that bad boy. They last a long time. So the idea is to cut all of these panels, which I'm probably going to do just because I want to just cut them all at the same time, and I can just stack them all up. So that'll be the exterior cladding, and then I can throw the window in all the way around. Quite a few actual garage doors I'm going to use. But you know what, I can't think of a better use than exterior cladding, because they are extremely waterproof. They're also very dense, so like sound deadening and whatnot for you know, comfort, moisture, all that sort of stuff. If you ever wake up in the morning and you think to yourself, it's almost too nice of a day to do much. kind of in a rush. I'm in a rush for, getting stuff kind of put together for winter, because I want to have everything closed in. But there's only it's only you can only go so fast. And what I'm finding is that even if you put the long days in, you don't really get any much more done. Like you could, take a half a day off and you actually come back and you feel rested, and you actually get a whole lot more done than, let's say, like, pulling a 10 or a 12. I don't know. It's a depreciating rate of return the more you work at getting something done. You're almost better to take a break. The fish, I just saw the fish actually jump out of the water. They're pretty hungry. This is the time to feed them, right? This is like early morning, especially when the water is like super cold. Like, I guess it's kind of late. It's kind of like right in the middle of fall, kind of mid-fall. Can you see those? See if I get them closer to the edge. Oh yeah, look at that, like trophy trout. I know my brother's been feeding them quite regularly, as opposed to me. These guys are from Lyndon's Fish Hatchery. If you guys are looking for some fish, these guys are doing really well. I think we lost 2 over the summer, probably due to the warm water. But I think we've got her pretty much dialed in with the clarity and temperature and whatnot. They're still very active. Reminds me, I got to get the wood stove in. It'd be nice to have the wood stove in the new addition. It's getting a little chilly. I can only pile on so many blankets. I'm really impressed with that solar water pump. It's got like mostly shade. You can see it in the corner right there. It's got like a little bit of sun on it, and she's pumping. That's from Condors. The Condors solar water pump. It looks like I'm drinking a coffee, but it's actually fish food. It smells like dog food, actually. All right, I'm just gonna toss this in the burning daylight. They're like just fine in it. Normally we get floating fish food. This is the sinking variety, so they're not. There is some floating, but most of it's sinking. So they wait until it gets a little below the surface and then they hit it. But the floating fish food sits on the top. They actually have to hit it from the top. Well, they're kind of hitting it, but every time they flash it, every time they hit it and they splash, they're actually breaking the surface tension on the water, and the fish food's sinking down, so then they can get it. Trout are predatory, from what I'm told. They like to attack their food. Clean up, organize, get my stuff together. That wasn't the word I was thinking of. Get my stuff together. Just see, you can see the cabin up on the hill. Like you just kind of like, you're like, come finish me. It's not even far enough along that you can do a punch list. There is so much left to do. Life isn't a race; it's a journey, right? This is part of the process. Enjoy the build. I enjoy the build, but I enjoy when it gets to a certain point. We're not quite there yet. Actually, once we hit the crest, like when you're at the top of the hill and you're looking down, I'm not quite at the top of the hill yet. I'm still working up to the top of the hill. Once I get it closed in, I get some heat in there, then I'll be at the top of the hill, and then it's downhill from there, or uphill or something. It's the good part of the construction process, the downhill portion where you don't have to pedal as much. That's a good analogy, or something. Anyway. All right, well, she ain't gonna get done if I just keep sitting by the fish. I was having an idea the other day, and I was thinking about the deck and the proximity to the cabin and having everything kind of close. And what I've realized is I don't sit in the hot tub nearly enough, so I'm actually thinking of putting the hot tub up on the deck. I'm not sure if I need to put another support beam in or another post in. It is built pretty beefily, so I don't know, I'll probably put that guy up there. But yeah, look boss, the plane. Can't actually see it, I can hear it though. Seems like every still still day the planes decide to fly around. You know, they just decide to fly around. Just for no fun, no reason. Like they're just flying for flying. Like a bird. And I gotta enjoy my paper straw, but hey. It's cold. Cold. All right, so the plan here is to make my exterior wall on this bathroom be my vapor barrier. And if you guys aren't familiar with vapor barrier, usually on, I guess, northern climates, when it's predominantly cold throughout the year, you put your vapor barrier on the warm side, which is the inside, in theory, on us in northern climates. Now, if you have a vapor barrier on the outside, you don't want to put a vapor barrier on the inside, because what happens is you get moisture trapped in the wall. So my plan is to seamlessly stitch all of my foam together on the outside. And I'm not gonna put any vapor barrier on the inside. You know, you might be doing it differently in your neck of the woods. Anyway, this is actually a cool tool. This is a foam gun. If you're doing any sort of foam, this is actually quite convenient, because you can just kind of leave it in the gun. Your foam doesn't go bad, because usually those straws, what happens is the straw, you know, keeps getting shorter and shorter and shorter because you keep cutting it off. That's the mouse shield stuff that I'm also going to use. I'm going to use up whatever's got left of my foam. But there's a lot of foam that has, like this guy here from, this is LePage, and it's the quad foam, which actually you can do both. It comes with the straw and it comes with the screw-on thing, so you can actually put it on the foam gun. And these things I actually got from like a salvage store, $10 a can, which is a really good price comparatively to the normal price of these things. Ugh. But anyways, hopefully there's stuff left in here, so I'm gonna foam it, put the panel in, nail it in, and should be good. Well, just about to nail on some siding, and I found this. Well, not that I found it, I had it for a while. I thought I'd show you guys. Ever seen this thing? It's a little mini triangle, or it's a square. You know, we've already talked about this, but it's like a little framing square. But this is from a little kit called the Handy Andy. You guys ever had the Handy Andy? Am I bringing you back to your childhood? This is a little older than my childhood. But what I'm told is, like, there used to be like this little toolkit that was rather useful for small children when they wanted to get into construction. I haven't seen these in my day, but I was told that, like, it comes with like a little hammer and possibly a screwdriver and like a framing square and probably like a little handsaw. I should probably look them up, but anyways, Handy Andy. This is actually, I looked at this and I was like, this is pretty handy, as in, like, it's handy for me because it's a little square for marking out materials and whatnot. So yeah, check them out. I think you should Google Handy Andy. You can see, like, I don't know if you can see that closely. Like, there's like a little dude on there with like a thing. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Handy Andy. I'm actually just looking up the Handy Andy now. It looks like there's a new kid in town, the Handy Dandy, which is all plastic junk. But looks like they got vintage Handy Andy tool sets, like Handy Andy, was it Skillcraft with tools? Like, they're legitimate, like a hand drill. It looked like they're from the 1960s. They all, it looks like they're selling for about $30 or something, so they're not crazy expensive. But vintage mid-century handy. This is something you buy for your kids, your grandkids. Like a vintage tool set. It's got the rust. It's got the tetanus pre-built into it. Toughen those little guys up. I don't know. They should make more useful toys these days to actually build something, as opposed to this plastic junk. You know? You should whack your finger when your finger can take it when you're young. Yeah, I'm just looking at all these tool sets. It looks like they had a bunch of tool sets. Or was it just one? I don't know. It's Handy Andy, Vintage Children, 1960s, 1950s. All sorts of them. Look at them. Look at the Handy Andy. Handy Andy. That's cool. I just like the name, Handy Andy. You could buy like a, oh, oh, there it is. Handy Andy tool set. There's the $23 out of stock. There's the, this is a set with hammer, rule square, number 620. It's got a hammer, a ruler, and this guy. I've only got this guy. I gotta get the hammer and the ruler. It's to build like, it looks like a little doghouse. That's kind of cool. That's awesome. Blue diamond. Well, let's get doing installation. Can you tell I don't really like doing installation? Installation. Let's get some foam done. All right, I'm gonna try to get this window in. Look at me, I'm strong today. Let's see if I can get this window in. Let's see. Oh my! I don't know if I can get this in by myself. Without breaking it. Oh. All right, she's in. I've left, well, too much of a space because I want this to stick at the basically flush with my siding. So what I do is I run my siding and then I'm going to push the window in to do its final install. But right now, that is pretty much level and plumb. I got like spray foam space over there, underneath there, and I got my little drip edge there. We're in pretty good shape. I'm pleased the way that went in. On the inside, you can see how it offers some privacy. It's not hard, the camera doesn't really show it very much, but when you're standing here, you can't, nobody can see in if they were to be in the bush. And we're pretty much bang on for level. I just threw a couple of shims in there just to support the edge, which, yeah, and a couple of screws that are just gonna temporarily support it there. So once this goes in, it should give me enough of an edge. You guys can't see that. A little bit of an edge to trim it out because about 1.5 inches. The fun fact about that window is that, well, I just cut the window and I didn't exactly know the size. and it fits exactly from basically stud wall to stud wall, which is it's crazy. Like not even like it was exact. It was a 1/4 inch or so, so like an 1/8 on both sides of wiggle room. But it's interesting how that worked out. So yeah, all right, we're pretty much closed in. I just got to do a little bit more spray foaming and stuff like that on the bathroom wise, especially on the top. And I got to put another layer of roof on, so probably going to take advantage of the day. Probably take advantage of the day today to clean up the outside, because I think like it's crazy how in the fall what happens is essentially the skies just open up and it starts to rain and it doesn't stop, and then it turns to snow. So I kind of want to clean up the area just to get myself basically a clean slate again, because it's starting to become a little bit too much to work around. Need the branch manager. This is a lot of stuff what Don used to do. He would make sure everything was kind of put away and tidy, and you know, the branches and the sticks and the wood and stuff like that. So I do save a lot of the cutoffs. I'm probably gonna end up burning some of them. They get into these crates and then they get burnt at some point. But yeah, it's a whole lot of picking up. Maybe like the tiny stuff I should just burn. I have to touch it again. The big stuff could go in the crates. Well, a lot of stuff got done, but the camera was off. I didn't film it. So did it really happen? Who knows? It's like if a tree falls in the forest and nobody's around to hear it, does it really occur? I think the answer is yes, it does happen, because it's the stuff that just, you know, you got to get it done, but it's not necessarily the most glamorous. Anyways, I ended up putting another layer of insulation panel on the washroom, because well, the sun is shining and it's dry out, so I figured I would do that to get that to kind of like watertight and ready for the next step. And then I actually liquid rubbered the top of it, just the seams, so it'll dry overnight, and then I can coat the whole thing, so I'll have, like, you know, a roof. That's pretty exciting. I don't even think I need to put steel roof on it, because I've got the insulation panels and they act like an aluminum roof essentially. So I don't think I have to do anything beyond just put a couple more coats of rubber on the seams, and I think it'll be a hunky-dory. So it's like 4 inches of insulation, which each panel is an R18, which would double up, what's that in math land? A lot. Just under R40. I think it's like R36. Yeah, 36. We'll say 36, if I did my math right. So R36 is pretty good for a cathedral ceiling. I know if you're going code, they want 6 inches of spray foam in a cathedral ceiling. So, you know, I could still put some insulation underneath, get my 6 inches of foam if I need it. But I think I'm working on air tightness, which is I feel more important than R value, because you can always, you know, heat a plastic bag, but if all your heat's just leaking out your holes, then it's no good anyways. It's only as good as your weakest link. It's smart looking with the 4-inch roof. You can see I've liquid rubbered the seams, put the fabric in it, embedded the fabric, so I should a nice waterproof, and then I'll coat the whole thing once all this is dry. This is just got to set up and dry, and then I got to do my fascia board. That's looks pretty cool. I like it. Just looking good. Even the look of the back. It actually fits nice. Feels like I did a lot, but I don't see it. I don't. Do you guys ever feel that way? I spent all day and I didn't get anything done. Well, what else did I do? Oh, I got a flat tire. That's something on the tractor. That's future Kevin's problems. Yeah, cleaned up a lot. I got a lot of material just out of the road. I was tired of stepping on it. My plan was to get the wood stove in, but that didn't occur. I'm looking for one of those little the T shape, so I can go out the wall and have my stovepipe just go up the back. I don't actually want to cut a hole in the roof on this side, so I'm looking for one of those. I have one that's really bent, but I can probably straighten it out. It is a different diameter, so I don't know if I can put the other pipe inside that pipe. I don't know, I haven't tried yet. That's like a fresh brain sort of activity, nothing new after two, what they say, because it just doesn't end well. But anyways, yeah, I think I got a fair bit accomplished, even though it doesn't feel like I got a fair bit accomplished. But slowly but surely, we get this thing closed in for winter, because she's not stopping. She's coming. I wanna get her, buttoned up for winter in order to be in here for the winter. Yeah. Personal goals, got to achieve them. All right, gotta get them done. I'm tired. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and join me on the next one. We'll get more stuff done.